Well, the news is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. They know mortgages, and they have proven to save home borrowers quite a bit of money vis-a-vis the traditional banks. And the nice thing about a mortgage broker is that they can shop a variety of lenders to get you the best deal possible. And keep in mind, even though we are within the shadow of Christmas Day now, or as Archie Bunker said, we've got Christmas at our throats. Either way, we can tell you this. A lot of people are still buying and selling houses. So if you're thinking about buying a house and you really want to get started now and you're thinking to yourself, I can't wait and got to wait until after Christmas. No, you don't. You can call Eagle Mortgage right now, get the process started, at least get that pre-approval letter going. And you can find them online at eaglemortgagecompany.com or in person.
And they're just good people.
Darn good people. Well, Trenton, let's get started with the news. So we've got some more demolition to talk about. We've actually got two demolition stories today.
You love posting demolition pictures.
I think demo is probably our number 3 most exciting topic for Grow Omaha listeners. Number 1,
restaurants.
That's number 2.
Okay.
Number 1, skyscrapers. We get about one of those every 20 years.
Right.
Okay, number 2, restaurants. Number 3, tearing stuff down. So let's go into our 2 demolition reports. Number 1, by the Med Center, an old OPS school that is southwest of Saddle Creek Road and Farnham Street has been reduced to rubble. And this is going to make way for the UNMC Nebraska Medicine Administration Tower on the southwest corner. That administration tower will be connected by a lid, basically a park patio structure that will cover Saddle Creek, to the future Project Next. Of course, where Project Next has been going on, or will be happening, a lot of demo has been going on because that's where the old Monroe Meyer Institute is mostly gone, but there's still a little bit of lingering demolition going there. So if you're a demo fan, you can see demo on both sides of Saddle Creek in that area.
I have a feeling that in the urban core, if you see some of the renderings, that lids are going to be a popular thing over 480, Interstate 480, and Saddle Creek, and it'll be interesting to see these living lids with plants and everything else. Yeah,
that lid you're talking about that's planned for the 480 corridor would be between Dodge and Harney, or maybe more like a Douglas and Harney. And there's talk about possibly some cool development projects happening right in that area between 480 and Midtown Crossing. We'll see what happens with those, but some cool rumors.
There's a lot of land in play, yeah.
Well, let's talk about the other demolition story of the week, and this one is at Heartwood Preserve in West Omaha. Heartwood Preserve is the old Boys Town West farm. You've got a couple really cool Class A office buildings on the north side of it, but kind of on the back side of Heartwood Preserve, right northwest of Millard North High School, is Ovation Senior Living Complex. And that is a very, very nice complex. And there was one building that unfortunately caught on fire back in April, right before the residents were going to move into that building.
A couple weeks. It was active senior living, and people were talking about moving in and everything, and then poof. Did we ever find out what the cause was?
I don't believe we have, but the day of that fire, there was a 25-mile-per-hour wind, which made putting it out really rough. And then there was the way the building was structured. There was a pretty good space of trusses between the ceiling and the roof, and apparently the fire was really stubborn to put out in that area. At any rate, they put on so much water in that fire, because they had to, that mold grew and the building could not be salvaged. So that building is coming down. That entire
a brand new building ready for move-in almost, and it was gone.
It's gone. If you want to see a photo of it, just go to the Grow Omaha Facebook page. I put a photo on there. I was driving by earlier this week, and I got out of the car and just snapped a quick telephone photo. But yeah, it's weird to see a building that nice, that new, coming down. And I, of course, being the intrepid reporter that I am, I walked up to the fence and talked to the construction guys, and I said, was it still damp? And they said, oh, actually, yeah, this building is soggy even today when we were tearing it down.
Well, last one I can think of is the Butternut building downtown off 10th Street.
Oh, God, that one was tragic.
What replaced that, the Corvina?
Yeah, the Corvina. Eventually the Corvina, but it sat vacant. That lot sat vacant for a long time after they tore the Butternut down.
Too.
Yeah, what was that? That was probably like, what, 10, 12-story building?
Oh, it was big.
It was
Big
one of
box.
those old red, it was one of the last surviving Jobbers Canyon red brick buildings, and it was going to be a super cool multifamily project, and that was quite the fire. And that one could not be salvaged because it was basically just a brick shell that was waiting to collapse at any
Old
moment.
building.
Okay, well, some other news that we have going on this week. The next item is in the Capital District. The Capital District, most people think of it as a Marriott hotel, apartments, and some bars, but there's also an office building right there along Capitol Street. It just landed its first major office tenant. Deloitte is going to move out of the First National Tower and into a 10,000 square foot space on the third story. This particular building in the Capital District is the one that has Texas de Brazil Steakhouse. And so I think that's a good sign for the Capital District. You want to get as much foot traffic as you can in that area. And of course, Steelhouse Omaha is going to be opening later this spring. And then with all the park redevelopment, that area is looking good.
And the daytime tenancy as well as the nighttime with the apartments around there and getting the retail in there and the restaurants certainly helps.
So Trenton, next story is 88 Tactical. This is a membership organization that you know pretty well.
Yeah.
You're a member there.
I ate there Friday.
Okay. So and we'll have you give a little quick review of it here in a moment, but they expanded the restaurant, lounge, and shooting range. This is at I-80 and Highway 370. The restaurant now seats 300. Kitchen is supposedly 3,000 square feet. That's quite the kitchen. It's got a top golf swing suite, outdoor patio, lounge, digitalized shooting lanes, whatever. Big expansion. So what was it like when you went in there?
It was crowded. It's been open for about a week, and they've had big plans. They have more plans with a pool and outdoor concert venue space and pickleball, and they get people through there. And I think they added about 20 lanes to the approximately 20 that they had already. And it's right on 84th and I-80, or excuse me, Highway
Interstate
370
Yeah.
and Interstate 80, and very visible. And it'll be interesting to see what else they build out there.
Well, and looking at the press release, it sounded like they're bringing in very highly trained chefs, gourmet food. Looks like an impressive wine list there. So
They have a pretty cool enclosed wine area, glass and a wine. What do you call it? A wine.
you mean that word that begins with an S that I can't pronounce?
A sommelier.
Yeah,
but,
I can't pronounce that word.
But I'm talking about
I've tried for years.
the wine cellar, I guess you
Oh,
could
the
call
wine
it.
cellar.
Yeah.
Okay. But the wine guy that they have there is one of only 269 people in the world who have attained the master status. So you don't think of that at a shooting range.
No.
So that's kind of impressive. All right. Last story we have. Omaha's bond rating will remain at one of the highest ratings possible from both Moody's, Investor Services, and S&P Global. Kind of interesting. The press release from the mayor's office says, in published reports, both of those companies, Moody's and S&P, recognize the city's annexation package, strong reserve accounts, conservative budgeting, business growth, and, this is interesting, development projects as factors in the high ratings. In fact, S&P highlights the 2023 planned start of construction of Mutual of Omaha's new downtown headquarters and the University of Nebraska Medical Center's Project Next, a $2.6 billion addition to the UNMC campus estimated to create 40,000 jobs over the next decade.
Wow.
That is pretty impressive.
Just the next project or all those things?
This makes it sound like that's just the next project.
That sounds like a lot.
But interesting that S&P highlighted that as part of the city's outlook. And the report from S&P also said, quote, given the city's affordability, aggressive approach to annexation, and robust development pipeline, we expect it to continue to experience strong growth. So that's pretty encouraging.
Kudos to city. Mayor Stothers doing a great job. City Planning Department, Omaha City Council Planning Board. And I think we're a well-run city. The people that really, you hear about all kinds of things in national politics, and Omaha seems to get it right and people work together.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I mean, if you look at our city council, we've got a good city council, and you got people from two different political parties on there. It's pretty balanced, but compared to a lot of cities, they seem to work together pretty well, and the mayor provides good leadership. So we're blessed and we're fortunate. Not every large city, because the city of Omaha is now about 500,000 people. Not every large city like this gets along so functionally. All right. Well, that's your news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.